Welcome to the Unhealthy and Unstable NBA Midseason Review and All-Star Predictions. We are back, man. Like it's been a couple of months since then. I feel like it was yesterday that we were just doing the preview for the season, and now we're midway in. I feel like we were just talking about like, oh, can't wait to come back midway and talk All-Star or whatever. But here we are. I'm excited. We have our predictions ready. I look forward to talking about them with my boys here. Unfortunately, Mike couldn't join us today at a work-related issue. So, but we will have his picks on the side so we can discuss and trash them as much as we can.
Hey, that's our sole goal.
Not here. He can't defend himself. That's how we do. But let's introduce everyone. Juwaan, how you doing?
I am very excited to talk basketball. Very.
Yeah, I see the excitement. Hey, man, what's wrong with that? There's no Milwaukee team.
Okay, hold on. Real quick, Joel, can I say this?
What?
All podcasts yesterday, Didge had me feeling like I was in an acid trip. Nice. Apparently, his game was behind mine, so I'm turning to look at mine to turn back here, and I'm like, did that just happen?
My back was after the game. I must have hit pause at some point, and so obviously it paused it, and then I guess I eventually hit play again. But it picks up obviously right where I paused it.
Here's the thing, though, because his TV is so far, I can't see exactly where it is.
Right.
So I turn from my TV, right, where I'm like, okay, Brunson hit a 3. Turn back here, and it's in the timeout, and I'm like.
It's crazy because I had got the alert that like you guys had won in overtime and stuff, and then once we finished, I turned around and the game was still on, and I'm like, I got the alert. What the
hell, bro? It was messing me up, Didge. It was really messing me up.
I was low key annoyed because once it went to overtime, I was annoyed. I turned it off, and I realized fucking the game's behind me. Like, son of a bitch, I can't hide from it.
I watch it sometimes in my little bubble. I look in mine. So if anybody ever like, why is he looking at himself? I'm looking at the TV behind me.
Right. Bro, that was driving me crazy yesterday, man. Insane.
Anyway, Didge, thanks for joining me, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Funny thing, we were talking off air about Coach of the Year. You were saying that you thought Phil Jackson would have been a unanimous one. You know he only has one Coach of the Year?
Yeah, that I believe. Shaq only has, like 1 or 2 MVPs?
But you would have thought during those Jordan years and during the LA years, he would have at least gotten one. He got the one in 96.
I'll say this. It's the same reasoning I gave to why I understood Shaq never had more MVPs. It's because you have to look past the fact that Phil has Jordan, and you have to go, you have the ultimate cheat code. So now my eyes goes to a franchise that does not have Jesus and basketball shoes playing for them for 82 games. What did that coach do for that franchise? And you can argue maybe that was more impressive of like maybe bringing a team out of mediocrity or whatever the case may be. You sometimes might have to look past the greatness to give someone else a shine. Or you could make an argument Phil could have had it every year the Bulls won a championship.
Doc Rivers got it in 99. I'm sorry.
Who was his team?
Magic?
The Magic. They were 41 and 41.
That's crazy.
Wait, how do you get Coach of the Year?
That was
I don't remember that season. I don't know.
That was a lockout year. We came back.
No, that was the year before that. 99, 2000. I'm sorry, I should say 2000.
Was that not the lockout year? I thought
the lockout year was 98, 99. That Dunleavy got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting to have a record
crazy.
Like that and win Coach of the Year. Like
what was the record?
41.
500. You got Coach there.
Yeah, I don't.
You sure there was nothing wrong with the season?
No, I'm not looking this up. What happened this season? But that's the year the Lakers. That's the year the Lakers won the championship. That was their first one.
Was it 2000? Fuck, man, that was my. Oh God, I'm not gonna say it.
No need. You're good. That's interesting, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some looking into that because I'm like, he better have had like
they went
3
67 and 15.
The Bulls?
You're telling me the
Lakers?
The Lakers. This is the first Lakers championship with Kobe and Shaq. They went like I said, 67 and 15. And for some reason, a coach that went 500 and didn't make the playoffs got it. I have to figure this out.
Yeah, that's a mystery. That's a mystery in itself. Wild. Yeah, that is something we need to figure out for sure. That's a little.
You won Coach of the Year, and you never won it with the Celtics.
No, I guess not, because I didn't see him on the list of multiple. And the only coach that got it more than 2 times, or there's a couple coaches. The 3 is the max. No one's got it more than 3 times.
Who got it 3 times?
Don Nelson. Let me go back to
it. He been doing it for a while.
Right. It was Don Nelson, Pat Riley, and Pop.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
All 3 of those make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. We're definitely gonna have to look into that at some point, Didge. Yeah, because that's fucking with me right now. But go ahead, Joel.
No, I mean we're just gonna. I want to start with the All-Star predictions because the last.
Oh shoot! Sorry, hit the wrong button.
The last returns came in for the fan returns. I believe those were the last ones. So we got
pulling them up first, or
we'll get. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you when to switch.
Yep.
But they came in and we got an idea of at least what the fans are thinking, which is not too far off from where a lot of us are thinking, but maybe not completely. We'll see in a minute. We're gonna start with the East. I'm gonna do the Eastern All-Star predictions, so you can pull that up. So there you go. So you have our starters up top, reserves at the bottom. We all have similar but different choices for the most part. Mm-hmm. Only Didge is a hater here. Everyone else pretty much on par. Let's do it.
Hold on. I want to sit on that for a second. Okay? Because pause, by the way. I just heard that in my head. We went out of our way.
Somebody clip that, please.
We went out of our way to make sure Didge's front court was taken care of. And you telling me you couldn't have just put Donovan over Melo? Melo deserves to be there over Brunson? Tell me that's not pure hate.
It wasn't. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't. I had no idea where that was gonna go, and I was like, let me look and see who was top 2 in the fan in the backcourt.
Oh, that's crazy.
I felt like it was so close. Like any of those top 4.
Well, you are too analytical to tell me that you gave it to LaMelo over Jalen Brunson. I'm sorry.
LaMelo balling. What you mean?
LaMelo is definitely balling.
He is.
Team is not.
I was about to say, Didge, you know you got to put team success.
I'm sorry. I had to give Charlotte ain't got much else going for them. The Panthers are trash. The Hornets are trash.
What we got?
The Knicks are good at least.
Didge. My dad was barely born last time we had a parade going through here for the goddamn Knicks, man.
Like, at least y'all have playoff aspirations. This is as much as Charlotte is going to get.
I'm just sorry.
Charlotte got a hit record right now, okay? All right?
You're not wrong. LaMelo has the numbers to be an all-star. I won't deny that at all. But I'm sorry. There's other guys putting up at least good enough numbers, and their team is also doing well. So I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find room in my
team record doesn't matter for all. Like this isn't MVP.
It does matter a little bit.
That's weird. Like it's
you're gonna give an MVP to someone to a team that's bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not MVP.
Well, to me, it does matter a little bit.
Let me ask you this, then, Didge. Let me ask you this.
I feel like it
because I think you and Joel are both correct, right? I do think that it doesn't ultimately matter, but I do believe it does matter in some instances. Here's where I think it matters. All right, and again, this isn't me asking a rhetorical question. I'm actually asking because I'm not a numbers guy. Is LaMelo having a season so much better than Lillard and Jalen Brunson?
Let me double check. No. He is going crazy.
No argument there.
He's averaging 29.
He is, but Brunson's averaging 27, right?
26.
So it's like 26. I'm sorry. So it's not a wide enough margin for me not to say, okay, the thing separating them is the idea that a team is doing better.
But also, New York is a team where you guys have 3, 4, maybe even all 5 of you guys, players on the court that they need to pay attention to, right? Mm-hmm. When you play Charlotte, you know who the ball is going to. You know who this offense is running through. And he still goes out there, he's putting up almost 30 a game. I think he has like almost 8 assists.
30. Now,
what are we talking about?
I'll tell you right now. He's averaging 29.6 points, 7.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds. That's what he's averaging.
If that's what you're going with, Didge, then I have to ask you, did you give Cade Cunningham any consideration for the All-Star game?
I mean, he's in my list. Yeah, he's on my list.
Wait.
You can see all.
I see it here. You're reserved. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, then look, that wasn't me. That was just me.
We wouldn't be having this conversation if it was any other player other than Brunson.
All right.
I know your guys' game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you gotta give our boys some props. Come on.
Yes.
Anyway, this is insane. Anyway, for the most part, myself, Juwaan, and Mike had the same idea. Even though I believe Mike had someone.
Didge got a real Shaq looking list right here. That's all I'm saying.
I had to correct Mike. Mike had like Jaylen Brown playing guard, and he's technically a front court player, so he had to make the change. He chose Brunson to pick as a starter. So we respect to Mike on that.
Means he wasn't even the first choice.
Is Brown having a better season than Jalen Brunson?
Right now, Brown is he's having a good year. Brown's averaging 23.4 points, 5.9 rebounds, 4.7 assists.
So I'll at least forgive Mike that he rectified it, but goddamn, like the fact that if Joel didn't say that he was gonna have Brown over Brunson, I'm gonna have to ask you. You know what it is, Joel? When did Didge and Mike turn in this list to you?
Not too long ago.
What's not too long ago?
It was like Monday.
Monday? I know what the fuck happened, Joel. What happened on Sunday?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch it. I forgot we played you guys.
Yeah. No, I know what the hell is going on. I want to change my pick. Giannis don't deserve to be there. Put Jokic in.
If I was feeling petty off of that, Franz Wagner would have been my third starting front court.
No. Just for everyone listening, Didge is very analytical. I trust him when he puts a name in. I trust that it's off just purely the numbers.
Like I said,
it's all jokes.
The top four for backcourt. No, Dame for sure. He wasn't starting. Dame's my guy, obviously, but he wasn't starting. Of the other three, Donovan Mitchell, LaMelo, and Brunson, I was going back and forth. Like any of those three could for sure be the two starters. Okay. And honestly, the only reason Dame's second on my backcourt is I knew for a fact he was the first name I put. I was like, I know for a fact he's an all-star, but he's not starting. He was literally the first name I put. But LaMelo, I have seen more LaMelo games just because we've played them twice already. So I watched those two
hurt early on. So that was another. Now he played enough. Now he's played like 26 games, but like that's still almost a little over half than most of the players. You know, so like he was hurt for a while. I know. I have him on my fantasy team. He's a good player. Trust me, I get it. I like him. I just could not get myself to vote for him because of the record.
I mean, I get that. That's fair.
Yeah, I get it. So basically, our starters aside from that is the same. Like we got Brunson, Mitchell, Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Cat. I can't really argue with that. I doubt a lot of people would. Honestly, fucking the fans agree with Didge. LaMelo should be a starter. So
LaMelo is balling. Like
he's having a good individual year. Unfortunately, his team doesn't benefit from that.
Which they need a lot of help.
They're not. You know what bothers me about them? They're not that bad, and like they have good pieces. The bench isn't great. Fair. Like
they have
Brandon Miller is also having.
They have 9 wins. They would probably have 4 without him. Maybe 3.
Brandon Miller.
0.
Maybe.
Brandon Miller. I mean, I don't know how many wins they had without Melo. But we could probably look that up. But Brandon Miller is also having a really good year, especially those times when Melo was out. He's averaging like 21 points, 3.6 assists, 4.9 rebounds. That's really good for this kid in his second year. He could have easily been an all-star choice too, in my opinion. He's having that good a year. But again, I couldn't.
They have 1 win without him.
1 win. Yeah. Okay. So then they have how many wins? 9?
9. So all eight.
So 8 wins. I'm pretty sure Miller had a great game.
That's a 0.9%. That's a 0.091 win percentage versus a.
I don't doubt it. Yeah,
0.3. Like.
Yeah. Fair enough. But they're still not good. And I just
they're not. You're right. No, I'm not wrong.
But now we'll look at the reserves. A lot of other reserves aren't that different.
No,
they're just at different points.
Yeah, like I had Lillard. We all had Lillard. Well,
wait a minute. Lillard. Something in mine is
nothing changed. I just had to move it. That's all. Because you had the way it was set up, you had it all wrong. So I just changed. I just moved it to the right spot. That's all. I
specifically had 3 backcourts.
Yeah, that's not a thing. So you can't do that. So I'm
not. I set mine up specifically.
Yeah, I changed it. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But luckily, one of your flexes was a front court, so I just moved it over. Because
I knew. Yeah, I definitely had it 6-6. I definitely. I made sure to have 6 for each.
Makes sense. All right. So yeah, that's why when you saw, I'm like 3 back. What's he doing? No. That's why there's flexes. That's why. Anyway, we all agreed on Lillard. We obviously, I disagree with LaMelo.
That's so crazy.
That's the one. I just couldn't do it. Trae Young, even though they've been balling lately. Tyler Hero's been balling. It's the team
to the level of LaMelo though. No,
I'm more offended he put Trae Young there.
No, I mean I got Trae Young on mine.
Juwaan, you got Trae Young.
Do it? Oh, all the way at the bottom though. That's a flex. Someone got someone needed out for him to get in.
Yeah. That's when Atlanta was playing really well. I had I did these pretty early, so I made some adjustments later on. But that's why I put Tyler Hero at the end because I'm like I was impressed with Tyler. Oh, remember they had no Jimmy Butler for a while. They still don't. He's averaging like 24, 5 and 5, almost 6 and 5. He was starting at point guard at one point for the Heat. So it's like the Heat now that they fall in the 10th, but they were right there like 6, 7 for a while. So and even the Pacers made a nice run. I was really thinking about maybe putting one in because they made a nice run recently.
I need to know who.
Who would I would have put? I probably would have put Siakam.
Okay, I was about to say because I've seen a lot of Halliburton games with 0 goose egg.
No, if I was going to give it to someone, I would give it to Siakam. He's averaging 20 and 7.
I will say, Joel, I get you not starting him. I won't argue that. I get your stance. I'm going to agree with Didge. I do find it insane that you can't even give him a nod to be a flex.
That's
LaMelo, not even a flex.
It's so wild to me.
Like Tyler's numbers are not LaMelo's numbers. Even if he's having a good season, LaMelo is balling. Not drastically different, but think about, again, Didge's point of the workload you're asking
almost
LaMelo to do, as opposed to what you're asking Tyler Hero to do. I do think some respect by you does need to be put on. Again,
I'm just saying I think you disrespect the idea of what Tyler Hero has done.
Like, it's not more than LaMelo
doing. To me, it's not drastic. The only difference is that he's averaging 29. He's averaging how many threes now? 4.4 threes a game.
Yeah, but I'm saying to me, I think you have to value at that point because we're talking flex, right? So at that point, I value the workload. If the numbers aren't different, I then value the workload. Obviously, one person's team is better than the other. Yeah, right?
That's what it came down. I felt like the Heat deserved it at the time.
I feel like that's the wildest part. You keep saying
that's where I'm with
his team. Since when is an all-star representative of just the team? Like
to me, it matters.
That's so
to me,
wild.
To me, it matters.
I'll give it to you if you're sitting a starter.
I'll go with the numbers, and then after the numbers, I'll give you. I go with what's your team record? That's how I go with. And to me, it's not as drastic. So to me, I got Hero higher. That's all. I'm not saying going to make it, but I feel like if someone's going to make it, it would be Hero on the Heat. And I think at the time, the Heat were there.
I'm just saying, I feel like if you were to poll 100 NBA fans and said, who would you pick, Tyler Hero or LaMelo Ball?
We have to fucking do that. We just did a poll, and 50% of them on LaMelo. What are you fucking talking about here? I'm not making shit up. I know what they think. I'm telling you what I think.
He's going crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
You got to remember, that's also the LaMelo they say in their head when they don't think of Carmelo. They think of LaMelo. So
and that's disrespectful, whatever.
He's a popular player all around. He's just famous.
Yeah, I don't take that away from you, but that's why I said I give you Joel.
Disagreeing with you. I just put team record. I value it higher. That's all.
I understand that. Like I said, for starter, even if you want to say for reserves, but I'm saying to not even give the man a flex is crazy. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I thought there were other teams that I felt like deserved an all-star. That's all.
Because to me, that's what I would reserve a flex for, is someone that didn't have the record but had the numbers. Hey, man, that's where I put him as a flex.
If Wagner can't make it, because I have right now Wagner, if it's injured, he could get in. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just there's a lot of guys that are going to get screwed at the end of the day.
Top 5 in points, top 10 in assists. Probably, let me check steals.
He's 1.4.
Yeah.
Which puts him top 15, but he not sniffing an all-star game is crazy. That's all I'm saying.
That's robbery. He's been one before.
Robbery.
I just disagree. I understand it, but I disagree.
Okay.
But I got Cade because they've been playing well. I gotta give credit to that. I gave it to Mobley. Cavs have been obviously playing well, so if we're gonna give 2 reps, Cade deserves at least 2. Mobley's been playing really good. Franz, obviously, he held the fort down with Paolo out for a while. Then unfortunately he got hurt. That sucked. But he was having a career year. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is Jaylen Brown. Like some people might even say he's even better, but debatable. And Trae Young is Trae Young. I swear to God, sometimes you look at his numbers. Because talk about the guys that puts up numbers. Like in 23 and 11 right now, he's averaging. Or 12. Almost 12 assists a game. This fucking guy I think leads the league. Is he leading the league in assists? Or he's up there? It's crazy. No, he's second. Or second. Yeah, he's like. He's number 1. Yeah, he's number 1. That's crazy. Yeah, he's a stat. I mean, he's an assist stat stuffer, and no one gets assists like fucking Trae Young. It's crazy. The only one that's close right now, I think, is his name. I mean, Halliburton was doing that a lot last year.
Jokic is second with 10.
10?
What, 9.9?
9.9. Yeah, that's still close enough. That again, like Trae. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks kind of fell off a little bit recently, but I mean, the way they were playing, I had to give him in my opinion. So I even wanted to put Jalen Johnson. He was playing really well, but I can't give him 2. It's crazy. But I did like Jalen. Jalen's having a really good year. There's a lot of guys. Like I look, there are guys on look at the numbers. The guys on Toronto, like fucking RJ Barrett deserves to be an all-star this year with those numbers. But the team is trash. I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. And RJ's putting up great numbers. Scotty Barnes is putting good numbers up. 28 and 6.5 assists. That's good. Like, it's really good.
I had to pick him over Tyler Hero, but you were high on Tyler Hero. This is on you.
Again, the Heat are better, so I give them like that's what gives them the Toronto's all the way at the bottom. They have 2-3 guys that they're having career years, and they're still at the bottom. That's crazy. like fucking Podol's having a career year, 15 and 10. He's averaging. You know, like this is insane. But you know what's having a bad year? Bam. Not a bad year, just not his usual. Last year he was averaging like 20 and 10. Now he's averaging like 16 and 9. It's like kind of fell off a little bit, Bam. And I'm no Sixers. Obviously, they don't deserve it. But I'm saying like crazy that the Sixers just kind of had no representatives this year. Anyway, that's basically the biggest changes. I think we all had basically the same stuff excited from. Levine got in for Mike. Which again, he's having a good year. I just couldn't put them over some other players. That's all. Not bad. He's averaging 24, 4 or 5 and 4.5. It's not a bad year for Zach. But just, you know how it is. Someone's gonna get screwed at the end of the day. And sometimes some guy we like. Sometimes it doesn't. It happens all the time. Like 1 year Drew Holiday made it. I still don't know how he did it, but he managed. I was like, whatever. Like he made it. I was like, okay, fine. Anyway. Let's move on from the East. Let's go to the West. That was tough too. West was it was easy, but it was hard. There was like a lot of big men that got in for me. It was crazy how many big guys I had. Now we have almost similar stuff. Like I don't have Steph making the All-Star team. I just don't. Shea,
that's a very wild statement.
I don't, but that's not because I don't think I think he'll get voted in like by the fans. Again, it's gonna be a fan thing. I just don't. There are guys that are playing better, like they're having better years on better teams. It's just I just can't do it. Shea,
Hold
Luka.
on, time out. Hold on.
What?
Because you're doing it again. Sabonis makes you flex, but not even Curry?
They're doing better.
But Curry, just off popularity is a shoo-in.
Yeah, but that's why I don't have to vote for him. Like he's gonna.
They're also
the
same record, by the way.
Yeah, but they went on a 7-game winning streak. I'm just telling you. Like I just felt like the Kings were gonna get fucked this year.
So I guess what is doing better though? Like they had to go on. That means they had to go on a winning streak to match what Golden State was doing.
Yeah, no, they were.
What's doing better though?
Because Golden State was also dealing with their own bullshit. I have Sabonis. Just don't fight me.
I just understand. That's all I'm asking.
I'm just trying to understand.
I tried to fit him in there where I could. I just didn't have Steph. It is what it is. I just couldn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. He's gonna get in. You guys don't have to worry about me. I'm just telling you who I think should make it. That's all. And to me, I don't have Steph making it this year. I just don't. So I got Shea, Luka. We all mostly have that, except you and Didge have Steph. Me and Mike have Luka. You guys have Luka on the bench.
Luka's been hurt. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I questioned whether or not I was going to put him on the team at all because I don't think he's gonna play.
Luka played. How many games he's played this year?
No. Did you say he doesn't think he's going to play in the game?
He got hurt on Christmas, and his evaluation is 2 weeks from now, or about a week from now. I think it's on the 25th of this month, and he's not even going to be 100% then. So I was like,
again, but I can't. I'm just saying that he isn't. He's probably going to be here. Can't play. Then they'll probably have to put his.
Yes, if you're saying is he having an all-star type season?
Is he an all-star? Yes.
His injury will keep him out, so it's like a waste of a vote to put him in, knowing he probably won't play.
Right.
But we all voted him in, so it's cool.
And that's what I was saying. I questioned whether or not I was going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, that's why we're debating right now.
I don't think that was a debate.
I was debating on LeBron being a starter too. I was like, should he start? Huh?
Yeah, LeBron
was going to start. I don't know if I could have made him a starter this year, but
no, I personally can't either. But again, a lot of this is. Yes, if I wanted to structure this the way that I would like to structure this, mine would have been completely different. But I have to factor in the fact of no matter how someone is playing, popularity will always trump everything.
No,
it's like LeBron. Yes, do I think someone could have taken that spot from LeBron? 100%. But I'd be wasting that opinion knowing that it's not going to happen. So that's why I'm like, for me, I'm like, LeBron's going to start because it's LeBron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where it struggles for me. Yeah.
Like when you throw the prediction of it all, it's like that's where you get to the well, now you have to factor in. You know where sort of the wind blows with some of these picks.
Right. That's what made it hard for me because I'm like, I wanted to go with my actual opinion, but I'm like,
I get it.
My numbers can't trump popularity, unfortunately.
No, I was with you there because I just couldn't fight it. I was like, all right, well, what's the point? It's not that
you did better than me and Juwaan did at fighting it.
Yeah, a little bit better. That AD one for me, I'm just like, I personally couldn't.
AD is having a fucking year.
He is having a year. Yeah. I just don't know if I could. Wait, who am I putting in that's different from yours for big men wise? Oh, Jalen. Yeah, I went with Jalen. Yeah, 100% I went with Jalen.
Jalen's great. He's not putting up AD numbers.
He's not putting up AD numbers. But if I'm going for people that are having an all-star season, to me, I'm giving it to the AD will make the all-star game. I'm just giving it to the younger kid to make the start.
I totally get it, and I was with you, but that's why I just went with LeBron. I was gonna put Jalen in instead of LeBron, honestly, but. I decided to go with LeBron at the last minute, but I was with you. I totally agree with you. But I except I was going with LeBron, and I went with AD over LeBron because AD was having a better year, statistic.
And he's having a pretty healthy year too. So
yeah, he's staying
him on that.
Again, that's another guy I got on my fantasy team. So he's been helping him and LaMelo. They've been carrying me. Well, he's healthy because fucking LaMelo. So we go to the bench. Because the starters aren't that different. Well, Mike's is a little different. He had Victor starting. I can't give him as a starter. Kid's good though. He's one of those guys where it's like you have to vote him in, and unfortunately Spurs are not good right now. They had a moment there where they were climbing, and it is. He's a freak though.
I look at it and I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but I can see where Mike's coming from as a starter. I could see Victor as a starter. Again, my only reason why, like I said, a lot for me went popularity trumping my own feelings and how I felt like the numbers really supported certain people. But Victor is having an all around year. You could argue Victor's probably top 3 in defensive player of the year.
Easily. 4 blocks a game he's averaging.
So I'm like, he's having an all-star season for sure. And for me,
a one-man circus.
for me, a lot of times when I'm thinking of all-star game and I'm thinking of players that might not get a chance to be an all-star again, like Jalen Williams, I think is a phenomenal talent. How consistent do I see him actually being going forward, especially if they can't retain him financially? Do I think Jalen Williams can do this somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I factor that in. And Anthony Davis is going to make the team. So that's why I give younger guys the head nod. Even though we know Victor will probably always be here. But
he's going to be
that's why I give the young guys the head nod. Because I'm like, they may not ever be here again. So I give him the head nod to start. That's where I go from.
He's a perennial for sure. Victor is a future perennial. I mean, he's his second year. He didn't make it last year, or did he? I forget.
No, he didn't make it last year. No,
but he was even in consideration then. So imagine.
Yep.
But if this is his first year as an all-star, he'll probably be going for a while. Anyway, to the bench. Here's another thing, because I had a lot of fucking big guys make this all-star team. It was crazy as I was looking through it. I got Ja, I got Ant.
Shout out to Mike.
I got J-Dub, as he likes to be called, Kevin Durant, even though the Suns have been pretty fucking bad. Alperen Sengun, been good all year, and the team Houston's been really good. So, like we just talked about Victor, he's fucking freak. And I had Sabonis at the last minute. They're just playing so well. I felt so bad for them last year, and they were gonna get fucked this year again. I was like, that guy's never gonna make All-Star team again. It felt like while he was with the Kings, because last year to me he should have made the All-Star team.
I do have 2 questions, Joel. I have 2 questions for Didge.
Okay.
What did you see, Didge, from Devin that you're not seeing from Kevin, and what do you see in Sabonis that you're not seeing in Sengun?
I have Kevin starting, so that's
sorry. That's my mistake. What are you seeing from Devin to have him in the All-Star game? Sorry.
He's having a decent enough year.
Yes.
We were talking when we're talking predictions. At some point, I'm looking at it as I have to look outside of just myself. Like this isn't just my thing. And you got to look at again where the wins sell. Like Devin Booker's having a good enough year where if he's having the same amount of year, I'm trying to see who maybe we would have differed here. They don't play the same position, so I can't use the Jalen Williams one. Mm-hmm. And we have who? Ant. Okay. Ant. Because I have Ant.
I told you I have a lot of big guys. It's not really fair to you.
Yeah,
it's just going off my list with Didge. I'm trying to see, because that was my biggest thing is where are we disagreeing? Because we both have Ja, right? We both have Victor. We both have AD. I went Luka. You went Sabonis. We both went Anthony Edwards.
Did I do 6-6 again? That is the other thing. I did make sure it was 6-6.
Because I did have 3 guards. I had 3 backcourt to start. Then I put them in the flex.
So
you have Ant there? I think it was Ant that was there.
Yeah, he has Ant.
Yeah,
Ant's there.
No, I mean he had Ant in the reserves, not the flex.
Oh, gotcha.
Because my thing is always, I feel like I just try to keep it even because I don't know. It probably goes back from the days when I was playing the game, like playing NBA 2K or whatever. But yeah, I feel like those are the 6 best guards. They're the 6 that are going not just only in popularity, which has to take into consideration with All-Star game, but also probably playing out of the West right now. I don't know if I would pick 6 guards that are better than them.
Okay.
Then Devin.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying the 6 in general.
Okay.
And then, your other question. I went back and forth a lot with Sengun and Sabonis. it might stem from last year. I think that he probably should have got it last year. There's probably a little pity in that of like you should have got it last year, and you're playing still to that same caliber of play.
Fox too. Fox is playing really well.
He is.
It's just like it sucks. It's like damn, man. Like
you can't. I couldn't start doing like 7 guards. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. It's tough. There's a lot of guys.
I was just curious because I look at it and I go, I see where you're coming at from Anthony Edwards, but that's probably how I would have looked at Devin Booker.
Well, we both.
I feel like no. I'm saying you putting Ant in your flex. You putting him in.
I put him in his flex.
I don't know if he's in my flex.
Yeah,
I put him in. My entire in the main mix.
My entire reserves were just names.
Got you. Okay. Got you. Joel put it in your flex. Okay. Because the point of me even asking that, was trying to figure out how I feel about Phoenix having the record that they have and rewarding them with 2 All-Stars.
Yeah.
As opposed to just forcing them, not forcing them, but forcing the system to just pick one. Trying to figure out, but I think the record is not that far from where the Lakers is, and I have 2 Lakers in there, so that's where I kind of back off. Yeah, that's
fair. No, yeah, it's to go through that. It just in methodology and how I picked.
Yeah,
everybody in my reserve was okay. Who are the next? Like obviously, I picked my starters. Then after that, it was who are the next that I feel are deserving, and it was as names came to me. And so don't take any of my order in consideration because I'm not necessarily saying like, oh yeah. Luka was my number 1 pick after I picked the starters. Like I just said earlier, Luka, I questioned because I wasn't sure if he was even going to play to even put him on the list. But I just felt like it'd be a little too disrespectful.
Yeah, I that's why I had him in my flex because I'm like, I love what I've seen from Ja. And I don't think Luka's going to play. So I'm like, I won't be disrespectful and not have Luka here.
Yeah.
But I also got to be smart enough to know Ja might have it because Luka probably won't play. So even if you have Luka where Ja is for my list, Luka probably won't play, so Ja will end up getting it anyway. So, okay, no problem.
Memphis is also what? 3rd? That's why I had like they deserve it. They definitely. I mean, Ja's playing fucking crazy too, so it doesn't help. I mean, that helps as well. It's a tough year. I mean, I thought it would be easier to choose, but after looking at the numbers and looking at the records, like man, it really is tough to pick out who, what, where, why, when. Especially with in both sides, obviously. But I think we got a couple. Like I think this would be J-Dub's first All-Star if he makes it. Victor's first.
J-Dub has to make it. I'm sorry. I know the whole fan voting and everything. But if this turns out to where both LeBron and AD make it, but OKC doesn't have 2 players make it, let alone Cleveland have 2 players make it, I think that's a little bizarre. That's a little bizarre.
Let's look at the way the fan voting ended real quick. Let me see. Give me a second. All right, so it ended with the guards pretty much are so 50% of the vote is
here. I
fan
can.
Vote. You want to pull it up?
Yeah. Let me take this off real quick.
Okay, got you.
Because I was like, oh, we can look at it right now, actually, and see what 50% of the vote is going to be already.
Yeah, I'll just add it to the last slide.
And right now, OKC is, last I saw, OKC was beating the brakes off of Cleveland.
Really? No injuries?
I don't know. I wasn't really following it.
No. I know Isaiah's out. So
it's 72 OKC, 52 Cleveland heading into halftime.
OKC's they're not even healthy.
Shai has 24 points. He's the leading scorer for them. It looks like Darius has 13. He's the leading scorer. Yes, he's the leading scorer. Wow. Okay, so listen to this. Cleveland, if I'm seeing this right, Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell has 5 points. Mobley has 5. Wade has 3. Allen has 6. Strus has 6. Okoro has 7. LeVert has none.
Okay, you should be good.
That man open, then.
Okay, thank you. Bring it up now.
There you go. The third fan returns. There you go. So as of right now, 50% of the fan votes will be going to the top 3 in the front court, top 2 in the guards, and same thing on the East.
Can I say something real quick? Yeah. I am for this to be a fan vote. I want to take a second to give a lot of props to Milwaukee because I have to imagine a good portion of that shit comes from Milwaukee. Like, Damian Lillard is a very popular player, but to know that Brunson is in New York City and is losing to Damian Lillard in Milwaukee is like, I'm trying, like, again, LaMelo, we all talked about. The Ball brothers are very much constantly talked about. LaMelo very much has the presence of the young kids. Donovan Mitchell is balling well enough to have global recognition, right?
True.
Damian Lillard is a globally known name, so I'm not shitting on Damian Lillard. But I'm saying to know that you're in New York, like if Melo lost to I'm trying to be respectful here. I don't know what a comp would be, and I don't want to say anything that sounds disrespectful. I'm just disappointed New York didn't support enough.
I was going to say, even to piggyback off of that, it's crazy to see the amount of votes that Cat has compared to Brunson.
Yeah. Right.
Where
you be your own people, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, you would assume every Knicks fan that voted for Cat, because I don't know how many. I'm sure some of them could probably be Timberwolves fans. I'm sure Cat has fans.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure some, like,
they're everywhere.
Yeah, like I'm sure some of that is that. But I feel like you should be able to confidently say a good 1.5 of that is New York Knicks fans.
Mm-hmm.
And for Brunson to not even have that is kind of insane to me. Like, we know obviously Giannis has almost 3.5. We know probably the 1.3, 1.4 of those is Milwaukee fans, and the rest of that is just.
But also, he is world.
Yeah,
they know Giannis. Like, winning a championship helped a lot.
A solid million of that is probably fans from overseas. Like, a solid couple 100,000 of that is probably Greece.
That's crazy. That to me, that is just. That's insane.
Greece is representing too. That's fair.
That's insane.
So
they don't give a fuck, but they give a fuck when Giannis is playing.
Right. So that's where it's like I can understand the disparity between Dame's and Giannis's, but the Knicks one with Cat and Brunson, it did shock me.
Mm-hmm. I will say though, Cat probably more so. I'd say Cat is probably more so like Melo, right? Because remember, for a lot of Knicks fans, when you told them their off-season acquisition was Jalen Brunson, a lot of them were not happy. Brunson had to earn the love he has in New York.
But that was last year. Like, I would have thought after last year, this year would have been like you said, he had to earn the love. But I thought he earned it.
I would have thought the same. But you look at Cat, and Cat's a proven commodity coming in, like Melo was, right? So it was more so like we know who Cat is. The fact that we were gifted Cat. We have to support that. And I felt like they didn't give it to Brunson.
I think a lot of people still don't see Brunson on that level.
Right.
That's why.
That's fair.
And they still doubt him. And it's not. I mean, what else can you do? You're on the biggest stage right now. So you gotta go. You gotta win it. And I think that's probably what it comes down to. You gotta go out there. You gotta take over.
I tell you this, Didge. If Brunson and Cat go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and next year we're still having this conversation. Yeah, if I'm Brunson, I'm asking for a trade. Because why the fuck am I here? Like, y'all don't love me? Like, what did Snoop say? Y'all ain't got love for the West Coast no more? Like, what's happening here? Y'all don't love us no more, man? Like,
all the work I'm putting in? One
in?
little petty thing, and Joel, your boy is under Jordan Poole. That's insane.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Fucking Jordan Poole.
That's crazy.
Apparently, Jordan Poole has a fan base that I didn't know about.
I think what's even crazier is I could almost argue. I would like to ask the fan. You know what this fan poll is making me think of? You ever hear the Steve Harvey game show, and they give you the number one answer, and you're like, who the fuck did you poll? like who? Because I'm trying to figure out how people feel they know Darius Garland more than they know Jordan Poole and Tyler Hero. What are we doing, y'all?
The Jordan Poole one, I'm actually curious how many of those are from Milwaukee because he's a Milwaukee kid.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So
I wonder how many are like Golden State people. Or
I'm sure there's
a few kids in Golden State that still miss
That's what I feel a lot of it
I feel like that's probably the majority, and I'm sure there are some Washington Wizards fans who are like, yeah, let's get him in. But I'm curious of what the percentage of Wisconsin kids is, just because a lot of kids don't come out of Wisconsin and go to the league. So
that's a hell of a pull Wisconsin got if that's the case.
I mean, not really. He has 300,000. I
mean, it's more than a lot of guards out there.
Also, I would say the thing that shocks me about Garland over Poole is I remember Poole got world recognition by winning a championship and being a vital piece in them winning said championship.
But he is also
popularity should be there.
But he is also a joke.
You're absolutely right. But if you're talking about fan votes, I'm thinking of a fan that is a casual basketball fan, right? That goes in and after like the Giannis's, the Tatums, the Cats, they're now just looking at names to fill in. I'm shocked that many times they looked at Darius Garland over Jordan Poole and said, all right, I guess we'll go with that guy. Like, that's what I'm saying is shocking to me. That's all I'm saying.
You also got to look at, like, remember Golden State? They almost put Zaza on the fucking All-Star team. That's the same team.
Yeah.
They almost that team will
they support
people. Yeah,
they vote hard. Yeah, the fact that Zaza
was almost an
all-star.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, that's fair. Actually,
that's crazy.
So I just wanted to first say shame on Knicks fans, and I just wanted to say Didge made a great point. Tyler Hero being at 10 and Garland Garland is balling. I'm not saying like he's not, but just for the casual fan that I assume had to have been at least half of these votes, I am shocked.
That might be Cavs fans, though. Like that might be enough Cavs fans who are just like, bro, we got the best record in the league right now.
That might be. Yeah, I give you that. That might be.
Mobley got number 6. He's number 6 in the front court.
Mobley, but Mobley, he's
and Allen number 10. So maybe this Cleveland.
I think didn't Evan Mobley? I think he was. I don't think he went to the game, but I think he was at least on that list before. Like, he's been on the short list before.
I think he was last year too. Yeah,
I'm sure he was probably on the short list the year Garland went, right?
Garland made
when it was in Cleveland.
Before.
Yeah, when they were in Cleveland.
Yeah,
I'd assume that probably have to be the year.
I was thinking last year when he was the all defensive first team.
Oh, you might be right. Maybe though.
Fair.
It's one of those 2 years.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, look at Paolo. A man's played like 9 games this year.
Yeah, that's why he's not. That's why he's not on mine.
Balling.
We didn't talk about it because I felt like you guys understood.
No, I understood. Yeah, I would have said something there. For sure.
I had him there. I definitely had him there. Didge over Franz because Franz not going to play. So that's why I had Paolo there because I'm like somebody from Orlando needs to represent that team.
Funny you say that. I forgot Franz wasn't going to play, and so when I was like, Paolo can't make it, he's hurt. Franz it is.
Franz is hurt too, right? So the funny thing is, Franz stepped up when Paolo went down. Now that Franz is gone, Paolo's back and Paolo's balling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that team was playing well enough that someone should represent them in the All-Star game, and that's why I went Paolo.
Like I said, we had the same mentality. I forgot.
We just went the other way, right? Yeah, right.
Let's say I did with Franz. Franz played 25 games, man. I had him listed as an All-Star before the All-Star.
Joel, you want to know something crazy? If you had asked me my top 5, my MVP ladder, all jokes aside, that streak he had, Franz was on my MVP ladder. He was definitely on my MVP ladder. That kid was balling like he took Paolo's talent with him when Paolo had to go sit out. He was on another level. So I did have him on my MVP ladder. So
you should get, even if he can't play, he should get voted in and then get replaced.
You know what he should do? You know what should happen? And I think this would be like a real feel-good moment. He should be voted in.
And replaced by Paolo.
Yes.
That's funny.
I don't know how the front court's gonna look next year, because if Paolo was healthy, Paolo is a shoo-in to be there. So I wonder who comes out for him to go in.
What are you talking about?
For the front court. So I stop it at the top 5, right? At the top 5.
Starters?
Yes, like not fan voting. I mean actually getting in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious once they reveal who the actual starters are, who makes it this year that if Paolo was healthy all season, Paolo would have been in instead of. Because you can say the same thing about Joel Embiid, right? You assume he's not going to play this horrible again next year.
When he plays well.
Right.
He's just.
So I'm just curious when it all pans itself out.
And he's played 13 games so far, Joel Embiid. Yeah.
Shusha.
It happens. I forgot Isaiah was out. But yeah, so this is what we're looking at least for half the votes, and the other half is what coaches, yeah, and media. Right?
I also don't know how they're doing. This is that 4-team format or 3-team format this year, right?
They're gonna vote them normal, and then they're gonna separate them. Then it's gonna create a pool, and then like Shaq, Kenny, and Charles and Chuck, they're gonna pick out their team, and then that they're gonna create 3
But
teams.
how many players are per team though? So I'm assuming
8, I think.
Okay.
I think
so
something like that.
Well, then at that point, it doesn't matter who a starter is. If there's going to be 3 separate teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that means they'll probably end up having to be starters whoever picks them.
You know right. I mean? Yeah. So now it's going to come to being picked on.
The starters are going to get picked first.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Every starter will get picked first. You go through a couple rounds of that.
Right. Because we're going to have a draft. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, since there's 3 of them, you figure 10 starters. So one team will have 4 starters.
Right. And then the rest will be then they go through the reserves. And then that those 3 teams will play who are the winner of the rookie sophomore team.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
Which has a similar format.
Are we going to
awards?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going through our choices. So let's go to the Midseason Awards. See where we're at.
Oh, that was a homer pick, if any.
No, I can back that shit. Because remember, I had Shea going against Brunson last year for my final for MVP picking.
I thought that was a homer pick then as well.
No, Didge, you had him in your top 5.
I did, but I thought I also said my top 3. I felt like ran away with it.
I'm sorry. I don't continuously feel like Jokic can. I think we're moving the goalpost with Jokic, and it really frustrates me.
But Jokic wasn't my pick.
No, not you. No, not you. I just mean everyone that continues to vote Jokic in that top 3 these last couple of years. I'm like, they never made this for LeBron like this. They never made it for Kobe like this. They never made it for Shaq like this. Like, this is, to me, I just find it offensive. Jokic is a great talent. But Jokic, I don't look at the same way I look at Shaq. And Jokic has more MVPs than Shaq. That's crazy to me. Jokic, I do not believe is a transcendent player. Jokic is a great player. And I think because how he approaches the game is maybe rare from what we see from big men, that we just appreciate it more. But I don't look at Jokic and think he dominates the way that Shaq did. So I'm like, it's crazy how times have changed. It really is. So that's why I'm saying, Didge. I put Brunson in that top 3 over Jokic because it's like, if you're going to give it to Jokic, you can just argue every year he breathes fucking air. Jokic should be up for this award because he puts up the same kind of numbers every year. They're either the same or they go up some. So that's what was upsetting me.
He's first in rebounds, I think, or second.
No. He's not over Cat. He's not over Cat in rebounds. Cat's leading in rebounds.
Okay. Yeah, he is by 0.5.
Yeah, Cat's been consistent.
Sabonis is leading in rebounds.
Sabonis is leading?
No, right now it's Cat. By
very little. Cat almost all season has been leading in rebounds.
But it's not even by a point. It's like point something.
I'm looking.
Oh, no, I'm not saying he was running away with it.
I just updated it. Like, Jokic is 13.2. What do you got?
I said Sabonis. Sabonis is 14.1.
Oh, Sabonis. I thought you said Jokic.
No, he said Sabonis.
My bad. Yeah, Sabonis is leading.
Wait, is this, like, since when? Because, like,
this
they
today.
just were saying, just today. Oh, okay. Because I was looking at it from, like, maybe a couple days ago, and it was still Cat.
It was, but now
because I saw it on TV. Like when I was watching MSG, they were saying Cat was leading in.
Then that means yesterday something happened. Oh, he didn't play yesterday.
He didn't.
That helps.
He didn't play. Right, he didn't play.
Did he play and go out?
No, he just didn't play at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't an extra play.
What?
Huh?
That was an extra game. No, the bonus they played tonight. Oh, actually, I don't know if they played last night, but they played tonight.
Yeah, Cat didn't play yesterday, and he might not play tomorrow.
Oh yeah, so he's 13.9. So he's literally like
14.1 to 13.9. We're splitting hairs at this point.
No, but no one was saying anyone was running away with the rebounds. We were just confused on who.
They're
was
all
leading.
close. Jokic, Cat, and Sabonis.
Sabonis probably got it on last Friday when he had 28 rebounds.
Holy shit! I didn't even know he had 28 rebounds.
And neither until just now. Yeah. That probably is what gave it.
That guy puts. I talk about Sabonis is another guy that puts up really good fucking numbers.
Problem with Sabonis is the problem I keep saying. He puts up those kind of numbers, but it always seems like he can never be the guy, and that's the problem. Sabonis sometimes plays like he should be your third fiddle, not your second.
Third, I don't know about third. Second, definitely.
I'm just saying, I still can't understand how the Kings haven't gone further.
De'Aaron Fox is definitely one there anyway.
Yeah. De'Aaron Fox, they might be.
Might move.
Yeah, I was about to say, you might have to move.
They've been playing better. We'll see. We'll see.
But okay.
Midseason awards.
Yeah.
Let's just talk MVP. Currently, I remember Mike didn't know who he wanted to pick at the time, so we're gonna leave it.
We're gonna fill in for you, Mike Giannis.
Yeah, there you go. Why not? That wouldn't hurt.
I had him. I was debating it.
All right, we'll put that in there. Hold on. Damn, we don't have Mike here to defend himself. I want to know how the fuck Mike has Karl-Anthony Towns as most improved player. What did he? The rebounds? Because I don't think the points are drastically higher than his average from last year.
Let's take a look.
They obviously think very little of Cat before he came over.
I am curious on that one.
I didn't think he was that good. Holy shit.
Because I know Didge, he's more efficient here, but I don't think his points per game is drastically higher than what his averages have been in Minnesota.
I see it. I ain't gonna hold you. I do see
it.
He has 5% higher. Like you said, he is more efficient. 5% higher shooting.
Right.
3% higher from 3. 5 more rebounds a game.
Wow.
Only 4 points. So the points aren't. But everywhere else, I can kind of see it.
To me, that is what I would package in my MVP speech. But for most improved player, I couldn't give it over the 3 other names that if you go across from Cat. That's why I was shocked. That's why I would want to hear what Mike, why Mike gave it to him. Because
I thought you were going to ask why he gave it to Rudy Gobert.
Oh, that's a joke.
Oh, no. I take Rudy Gobert. No, I wouldn't even say that. I just take Rudy Gobert more so as like Jalen said.
No,
it's just a big man award.
But no, we do know the answer. That is a joke.
That's really just.
Oh, got you. Okay. Got you.
He's not being serious. But, he didn't give me another option, so I put it in.
Gotcha.
Anyway, where were we?
On some level, he might also still I feel like there are still people who are like, you know what, Rudy Gobert does still deserve it.
I don't know.
I'd be shocked if his name wasn't in the top 5 list. I'd be shocked.
I'd be disappointed, but unfortunately,
that's fair.
That's very fair.
I see we're all in agreement of Wemby, though.
Yeah.
I mean, bro,
it's tough.
He's a freak, my guy. Yeah, it's hard to not argue. Did you want to make a case for Cat, or did you want to fight against MVP? That, Didge? No, I'm asking Didge. Did you want to fight that, or did you?
I mean, I just assumed it was a homer. Cat is balling. I haven't watched as many games, obviously, as you guys. I get it. I am shocked that you think he's more valuable than Shea is, but. You know,
I'm going to be honest with you. Watching some OKC games this year, that team, when fully healthy, that team is good enough to win games without Shea. They are not a championship team without Shea. Absolutely correct. I could say the same for the Knicks. When there is no Cat, we can win games. Jalen Brunson is that good. When Cat is on the floor, and they actually make him a priority, because there's been games where they haven't.
Well,
Cat is a
actually want to play along with us.
cut difference maker. Like, you feel when he's not there. That game yesterday, Didge, in my mind, again, this is just me, I don't picture that game being close at all if Cat is healthy against the Sixers. There's no overtime if Cat's there. He's that much of a difference maker. I will not lie, as if Cat was doing this in Minnesota, I wouldn't give a fuck. You're absolutely right. But it's not like Cat isn't having, as you were saying to defend Mike's most improved player, his numbers are rising, right? His numbers are rising. I feel as though he's playing defense at a level that's higher than he did in Minnesota. I do think, and a lot of people have Cat on their top 5 ladder. Now, if you're saying that he's not 1 or 2 or 3 for you, I'm not here to argue that, because we'd be right back where we were last year with Brunson. But I'm saying people at least see it to have him on their top 5 ladder. I'm just saying I see it higher than number 5. That's all I'm saying.
Have the Knicks played 25 games? Oh, no, this went into last year. I was going to say, there's no way they played this many games this year without Cat.
No.
No, they've only played 4. Okay.
Yeah, no. He's been relatively healthy.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. He's actually been pushing through injuries, which is like, oof. God bless him.
I mean, we've been lucky. I was expecting more, but he's been good. Can't really complain.
Yep.
So neither of them have enough of a sample size for me to say one way or the other, because Cat's missed 4 games, Shea's missed 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he didn't win without Shea.
You said okay, so you say it again?
They didn't win without Shea. And
no. I totally understand you, but I would ask you this. Were they fully healthy on that game that Shea missed?
Thunder haven't been fully healthy all year.
That's my point. That was the point I was saying to you. If OKC is fully healthy, that team can win games without Shea. They're not championship contenders without Shea. Shea is the icing on top of the cake. So I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm just saying, for Cat, I don't count Mitchell Robinson because he's always an injury risk. But without Cat, the Knicks have reasonably been healthy, right? So I can understand how they win games without him. I can understand that. But with OKC, I think I could argue the same thing if that team could just fucking get healthy. I could make a case for that. So I'll give you that. But like I said, I'm not here to say your pick is wrong at all. I get why Shea is there. Shea should have won last year. So definitely. I get it. I completely get it. This will be the year they rectify that. But I will continue to beat the drum to make sure Cat stays in that top 5. Same way I did Brunson last year. So that's all I'm saying.
That's interesting to me. He's having a really good year. I didn't know those rebound numbers are like that. That's insane.
Yeah, he's having a great year. He's definitely MVP consideration for sure. Faux show.
It's been a drop off from Josh Hart having to be our best rebounder. So it's refreshing.
I mean, still make that argument. There's some games.
Right now, also, OKC is beating Cleveland 102-66.
With Shea.
5 minutes left in the third. With Shea, yes.
Yeah, but no Hartenstein, no center today except for Jay Will.
Right. And
who knows how many minutes he gets, because they don't care. They'll play small as fuck. They'll put Kendrick in there, who's 6'6".
It's hard to argue it when they're winning.
That's why I fucking hate it, but they do it and it works. It doesn't matter who they play in the center. J-Dub plays power forward mostly.
Do you know Joel, who is licking their lips and rubbing their nips to the idea that OKC's coach could be fired one day? Mike D'Antoni. He's like, this is what I've been preaching. I've been preaching no more bigs.
They tell you to come out of wherever the fuck he's hiding. It might be his job for a while. They keep playing like this.
Exactly. Didge, I am curious because I see we differ with Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Sarr has better numbers across the board.
He has better numbers.
He does.
But I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know what at the time. I didn't know how to pick. And Sarr is just. I guess he's disappointed me.
What team does Sarr play for?
Wizards.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
I get, and I assumed it was. I assumed it was the Wizards are trash, and I was like, you know what? I have nothing to refute that. All I can go is off of the few games that I've seen, and he's played really well.
To be fair, Didge, because I know it doesn't show it here, but I put it in my notes to Joel. My rookie of the year is the guy that's currently sitting at home painting his nails. That was my rookie of the year. Yeah,
should have been rookie of the year. If he didn't get hurt.
Away with it, the way he was playing. He was Philly's best player. That was the crazy part. 3 All-Stars, and he was their best player. Was insane. Yeah, I almost gave this kid in his rookie year, Didge. If he was still healthy, do you know where I would have put him? He would have been in rookie of the year, most improved player of the year, and 6th man of the year. That's how good he was playing. Kid was balling. So I think for me, it was more so falling back on someone that I've liked to watch play. In all the ass whoopings Atlanta's been giving us, so that's why
I think that was the other reason I gave it to Sar over it. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not even going to.
Ricochet.
Okay. The only reason I gave it to him, the other reason is just who else is around him. Like I said, Sar's numbers are better across the board, and he's doing it with
the elite guard Jordan Poole. Come on, what are we talking about?
And
how many votes he got in the All-Star game? Come on,
what are we talking about? Ricochet has Trae Young next to him.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I was like, of course you're gonna, All-Star. Yeah, like you have, yeah, seriously, you have an actual All-Star. You should be able to. I'm sure the focus isn't on you, whereas the Wizards are so trash. The focus is on whoever got the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to call Kuzma a focus, he's really not been good this year. I don't know what's wrong with that guy.
Kuzma's a smokescreen. They just look at him like, yeah, we should guard you, right? Like, should we? I don't know. Someone just go try to put a hand up. Maybe it'll.
The thing with the Wizards,
he's just unhappy. He's just ready to get out of there. I think if he went somewhere else, he'd be balling.
Yeah, they're probably better off selling, but it's gonna be hard if you keep playing like that. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's like most of their players. Like any of their players who've been in the league more than 3, maybe 4 years are just like, I'm just here. It's like when you go to a job you hate.
I will always say, go ahead, Joel.
No, I was just gonna say, like, when you watch the Wizards, you can tell that they're playing younger. Like they're trying to play younger. You know what I mean? They got fucking Valanciunas, who's obviously better than Sar on the bench. Yep. You know what I mean? They got Brogdon, who's obviously better than Bub Carrington on the bench. So it's like they're doing it obviously for development purpose, and I appreciate that. They're basically tanking without.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't appreciate that. The best way to get rid of your veterans to free up your youth is to trade them. But if you're not playing them, no one can see how good or bad they are.
They're playing.
Go trade for them. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying, to me, I would put a fucking ribbon on those veterans to get them the fuck out of there, right? I would go to them and say, hey, listen, you want to be somewhere else, right? Yeah, I know you do. Do me a favor. Act like it. Play better so I can get you the fuck out of here, okay? Because the only way I'm trading you is if I can get comparable compensation, right? Like if someone is telling me, give me Kyle Kuzma for 3 second-round picks, I'm be real upset.
Okay, that's the name of first, and I was gonna say
no. But again, as a franchise, you want to think first. You might not get it, but you want to think it.
That's fair.
You don't want to sell low because you have nowhere to go up from. Okay. I guess the next one is interesting because it's different for 3 of us. And they're all very well deserving of it. I am very shocked that as someone that very much was talking high of the Pistons, didn't go with Cade Cunningham. But Franz was just balling. Like that man was in a different stratosphere this season. But that Cade one, Didge, I mean, no.
Yeah, this was the eye test. I'm gonna be honest. His numbers hasn't really jumped from previous years because his numbers aren't crazy higher than last year or anything. I've just watched him play this year versus what I've watched him play last year. Mm-hmm. He just looks better. Mm-hmm. Like he looks more comfortable playing.
He's affecting the game.
A lot more. Yeah. It you can tell that he is just better at playing basketball this year.
Mm-hmm. How many wins are they sitting at right now?
20.
How many did they have around this time last year?
I don't know.
20.
Because I know it wasn't enough. Because I remember you telling me when I thought they could make that leap You're like, there's no way they win. What was it, 10 more games? And they might win 10 more games, Didge.
Let me see. I mean, yeah, they win 3 more games. They're 10 more than last year.
Yeah. 21 now.
So, yeah, they won 14 all of last year.
They're tied with Atlanta. Same record.
Tried to tell you, man. And they lost. They lost a really good guy, but I saw they had all the pieces. They just couldn't figure out how to put it together, and it looks like they're starting to figure that out. They're starting to figure that out. I mean, they just got to tell. They just got to tell Beasley, and they got to tell Isaiah Stewart to pretend they're playing in Madison Square Garden every game, and that team will be a fucking giant.
I mean, to be fair, Beasley is having a good year off the bench for them. He's putting up some good numbers. What's he doing? Let me see. 16 and a half points a game off the bench.
Yeah, that's great.
Not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Fucking Detroit. So he's been playing way better than even Tim Hardaway, and Hardaway starts. Sadly for Tim, he's kind of had a decline. But Detroit has looked good. Cade looks really good. Like it was hard to deny that man looks great. I would not argue that at all. Franz, we were just talking about him. Franz is a freak. Really good. And obviously, to me, Jalen Williams is another guy who's taking a step. To me, he was just under last year, and to me, he finally took that step this year because he was borderline, just right there. Like had him like barely in the top 10 and in guards in the West as last year. So now he's like a top 5 guy, you know. So
yeah, I'd say my edge for him would be best team in the league.
On that,
or
helps.
Best team in the West. Sorry.
Yeah. But and then who would add? And then
I'm sorry. They're waxing the floor with Cleveland. So I was right. Best team in the league.
Yeah, it's 119-81.
Yeah.
That happens. We know that feeling. OKC's a threat. No fucking doubt.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And again, Mike's not here to speak for his cat pick, so we'll leave that to next time we get Mike on here. We can talk about that. 6-man, this one was interesting because this is probably one of the very few years I just don't care. Like nothing, none of these players really excite me. So I just purely had to go off of what I thought was the advantage over most other players. And Peyton, I just made the argument of Boston. Boston. They find a really good way to get 6-men out of that organization over there. But I did Didge, not knowing your list at all. I have been watching Russell highlights, not watching actual games, just highlights. And I'm like, that was one I don't know why I didn't think of because I think I forgot he was coming off the bench in Denver.
I'm going to be honest. I had no pick for this. And I was because the first 3 picks, I was like, oh, that'll probably be, I'm sure, I know they're balling. That'll be my 6-man pick. They started too many games. If any, because you figure every team's between like 35 to 40 games. Mm-hmm. If you started 25 or more, I knocked you off. Because I'm like, you started too many games. I can consider you a 6-man.
Yep.
So that happened.
Russ is sitting at 19.
Yes. I had to look. I was scared when I picked it. But close. when I just, like I said, ran out of names to pick, I remembered how much every time, like Leo in Discord, he talks to himself about the Nuggets every time they play because no one ever replies. I think he may get like a reaction or whatever, but he's the only Nuggets fan, so like he has nobody else to bounce it off of, like
commiserate with.
Yeah, So
wait, fair. That is crazy. You and Mike Bucks, me, Prime, Joel, Knicks. That is crazy. Yeah.
Really so like he's so like when his Nuggets stuff comes up, but. When I tell you the amount of times he's been, Russell Westbrook has done this. He always share a clip. So I'm like, well, let me go watch some of these. And I was like, yep, that's going to be my 6-man pick.
Point made.
So shout out, Leo. You gave me my pick here. You know, if you watch this, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keep up the Nuggets talk.
Where does DeAndre Hunter come from, Joel?
He's averaging almost 20 points a game.
Off the bench?
Off the bench.
Oh, well then, yeah.
He only started 2 games all year.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, easy. There you go.
So to me, he's averaging 43% from 3, 86 from the field, from free throw line, 4 rebounds and a half. Man's having a great year. It was between him and Peyton Pritchard for me. Yeah. The Hawks was beginning at the time when I made my decision on it. They were obviously doing better, but I'm like, man, to do that kind of work off the bench. I'm like, that's crazy.
That's Jamal Crawford, Lou Will type territory. Yeah.
I'm like, wow. And then look, they got Risa Shea starting, and they want to start him. I get it. I mean, Hunter's a decent defender too, but they feel like obviously he's doing better off the bench. So I'm like, fuck, I mean, why fuck up a good thing? Like, I get it. That's where it comes from. So he's having a really good year. But there's been a couple of, like we were just talking about, Malik Beasley's having a good year, 16 points a game. Clarkson always has a good year off the bench, even though he's been hurt a lot this year. There's a couple guys you can lean on like every year to play well, but those are the guys that stood out to me, like Hunter and Pritchard, Beasley, probably top 3. Buddy Hield, not bad, 12 points a game.
Buddy Hield to me is just too inconsistent. I remember the start of the season, it was Buddy Hield, then it just dropped.
Yeah. Bobby Portis is always decent. He's averaging almost 14 and 8. I remember he was averaging almost a double-double off the bench. I was like, that's impressive. That's why I think that year I had him as a 6-man. Like,
I will say one thing you can always say about Bobby Portis, consistent. What he gives you is what he gives you. Bobby Portis is going to give you what he gives you. But it's at least consistent.
For good or for worse.
Yeah.
Also having a really good year off the bench, Amen Thompson. Now, obviously, he's been starting the last couple of games.
Right.
What's his name? Got hurt. Jabari. But, man, Amen Thompson's having a good year off the bench for sure. That kid's good. He's freaking nature. But, yeah, those have been our 6 men. That's why I lean for Hunter. Pritchard, Westbrook, Pritchard. What do we got for Coach of the Year? I think we all agreed on Kenny Atkinson. Yes, That was got 4 in a row there. It's hard to argue. Best record. And also shockingly, I don't think any of us had them being that good.
It was that, and then the fact that they didn't make
any moves.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless they made something very small.
They did have small moves, but they were very small. They're like back of bench moves.
I had Kenny. I had Kenny making this team better, not this much. But this is like from Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr, kind of good. Yeah, that he's leading with this team. So I just remember when I was telling you before, I liked what he was able to bring out of D'Angelo Russell and those guys that year. He was able to bring.
What year?
Remember that year with Brooklyn? Kenny Atkinson was able to activate D'Angelo Russell.
The last time D'Lo was an All-Star.
I forgot about the Brooklyn years.
Yeah.
So before they got KD and Kyrie, and it
was a conversation. Right, that was a conversation we had when I was telling you. I think Kenny could do a really good job. Obviously, not this good. Right. But you were like, what? And I was like, I liked what he did with Brooklyn. And then we went through the whole, what did he do with Brooklyn? And I'm like, he activated D'Angelo Russell well enough.
Activated him right into a first-round loss.
Exactly.
They were young.
They were.
Yeah, they were young, and they just played a better team. I mean, that's really just what it came down to. Yeah. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I think Kenny's going to run Cleveland into a fucking buzzsaw. I don't see Cleveland making the finals this year. This team is the exact same team. They're just being coached better. But I don't see the problems that they had last year drastically changing when the competition gets a lot stiffer and you got to play them constantly.
Yep.
Right? So that's where I'm like, Kenny is really good to get you to the door. I ain't seen Kenny get you through the door yet. So,
but I will say, if you're going to compare him to Steve Kerr after Mark Jackson, I distinctly remember those same conversations being had about that Golden State team that first year.
What, of not being able to get through? Or?
They were. It was all because it wasn't Steve Kerr. That's all he can do because he hadn't been a coach anywhere. But it was we've seen this team before. We've seen this Warriors team.
They are
good. I'll push back on that only a little bit because remember Mark Jackson's last year in Golden State. If Klay doesn't foul out, Golden State could have won that game. They lost to San Antonio,
which is fair.
So, like,
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't warranted or not, but it was we know this we know this team. We know those Warriors. We know what they're gonna do. And I in a sense you're saying the same thing here. You know, we've seen this Cavs team last year, right? So
only difference is though, I can at least give Golden State the pass to losing to the Spurs. Cavs just lost to Magic last year. Magic that you could argue are better this year than they were last year.
Magic, obviously,
right?
not to be slept on.
So for me, it wasn't even like they lost to Boston or no. Wait, I'm lying. Cavs beat Orlando. They did lose to Boston.
They did lose to Boston.
They did lose to Boston. Okay, so then same thing. Sorry. I don't know why I was rewriting history right there. My brain was just like, hold on, no, that don't sound right.
Either way, the Magic finna take that and put you finna be on their clip the next time they win. And when they say play the song, it's gonna be you talking shit, and then they're gonna play the song.
I would hate it my face is right before that shit. I would hate it so much. So yeah, I'll give that to you, but I think Kenny deserves a lot of credit. Sure. Obviously, if I want to be different here, I obviously would look to OKC's coach, just to be different. About that,
but it's just, again, I guess it's kind of like the MVP type of thing. You did this last year, like you were expected to be this good.
That's true.
The Thunder, yes, yeah. And that's the thing; they're not even fully healthy yet. Wait till they're fully.
But he didn't win Coach of the Year last year, did he?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. So I'm doubling down on giving it to him.
A payback?
Yeah, hell yeah. Payback for Shea and him from last year.
Let me see. Who was Coach of the Year last year?
I thought it was that. No.
It was him.
Oh, he did get it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So voters said, hey, I'll give it to your coach, but I ain't giving it to Shea. Only one. Only one can reign supreme here. Okay. Yeah. Right, so then, Kenny, you're in the driver's seat right now. Now, this one's going to be a fun one to see everyone's thought process here.
No, my thought process is very easy.
Homer?
When you start, go ahead. Start.
Mike Gansey is Cleveland's executive. You hired the coach that did this turnaround. That was literally it.
That's what I mean. Like,
I didn't, because criteria for executive of the year, I don't fully know. So I was just like,
that's why I was thinking of that too. But I'm like, all he did was hire the coach. Like, that's all he did.
But that turnaround has been though.
That's crazy. How confident? Like, that's insane. Like that.
The only reason I didn't say Sam Presti is that if you're talking executive, Sam Presti should have had this from the moment Westbrook left that team, and he was able to just swap out Westbrook for Chris Paul, and that team made the playoffs. So I'm like, Sam Presti could have been executive of the year for the last 6 years, if you want to make that argument.
He probably should have got it last year, right?
Like, yeah.
I chose it because I really didn't know who else to pick, and I couldn't, because of the fact that the Cavs didn't really do anything except hire a coach. I didn't feel right doing that.
I mean, OKC didn't do too much different from last year.
Think about it. Their biggest acquisition was Hartenstein.
Yeah, that was a big get, and again.
But that's why I say, and again, I know people might have a different outlook on how the acquisitions actually went. But the only reason I went Leon Rose was not a homer pick. I went Leon Rose because we woke up one day going, shit, all of our draft picks for Mikal Bridges, right? Didn't see that coming, right? We re-signed OG, and we thought we were about to run it back with Dante, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. Then we woke up one day, all of a sudden, it's Karl Anthony Towns. He swindled the Timberwolves. They didn't even need to make that trade yet. And he swindled them. So I'm like, you upgraded tremendously overnight. OG, Mikal Bridges, and now Karl Anthony Towns. I look at that and I go,
not over yet.
Well, I can only pray. But those were some really big moves. And again, I'm talking, because again, the executive has nothing to do with how the players actually play on the court. Absolutely. It's more so just, how did you set the table? And I believe he set the table not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know if I can say better than Sam Presti in Mike, but I would say he had the biggest splash of the year as far as acquisitions goes.
Oh,
so that's why I went there. Because if you asked me, I would have thought Cat was like a pipe dream. Because Knick fans know that's been a name circling for like the last 3 or 4 years.
It was also a name we didn't really think about feeling like we needed either.
No.
We needed Cat. And then it just turned out that they were right. Like, oh, there's more to him than we thought. So I mean, it was Leon Rose definitely should be in consideration for the Knicks record as is, because he's put this team together, and now we're more of a perennial playoff team than we were before, where we were like in and we were out.
Expectations changed, right? Yeah. Expectations changed.
Look how different.
I don't think heading into the season, anyone thought Cavs' expectations were championship. They thought they needed to start to get there because you brought back Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's too great of a talent for you to not build this team upward rather than going backwards. And we know, like you said, Sam Presti was in the same situation he was last year. Go get it done. You got the pieces. Go get it done. I think for Leon Rose, the Knicks were like, what, the 4th or the 5th seed last year? It was the idea of you can't keep being that. You need to be better. So you went out, got Mikal Bridges, brought back OG, and then went and got Cat.
Now we're third, guys. You see that shit?
With the ability to be second, right? I mean, we keep fucking struggling here. At some point, Milwaukee's going to catch up to us. But so, again, you're right, Didge, because I don't know what goes into Executive of the Year. That's why I went with Leon, because he had the biggest moves made out of these executives. So
I've been looking. I've been looking it up because like I said, I didn't know what really went into it. It kind of just feels like they give it to whichever executive has the best record in one of the conferences. Yeah. So it's like, again, if we're going on that criteria,
then there you go. Yeah,
it's either Presti or Genzi right now.
Right.
Maybe
again, I think is this BS is what they say goes into MVP. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Who knows what I was trying to figure it out. Like I was looking, like Brad Stevens, obviously they had the best record. They had the best record last year. Monty McNair, in 2022-2023 season, that was the year that Sacramento, obviously that's the year Mike Brown won Coach of the Year. So how good they were. The year before that was Memphis GM, who they were number 2 in the West. I think that was like number 2 based off of like tiebreakers and stuff. So it's like I don't fully know if they care about like, oh, what did you do to construct this team going into this season? It's what did the team do this year?
Yeah, I think to me that's a mistake. Because so many factors go into a season, right? Because let's say Sam Presti put together this beautiful OKC team, right? Expectations are number 1 seed championship. And then let me knock on wood because I don't want to. But let's say injuries happen.
Right.
That's not a Sam Presti problem. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just value it more. Because let me ask you this. Think about last year. Joel, you remember where the Knicks were in December? Struggling. They went and made that OG Anunoby trade. Had one of the best Januaries I ever remember the Knicks having, right? And they go on a run, right? They also make the moves to bring back Alec Burks, give you Bojan. Right. But I'm saying remember all the different pieces they kept adding to make up for the insufficiencies that they – right. So I'm I view it more like that, Didge, of like when your team looked down in the mud, what did you do to pull them out to have a respectable season, if not a winning season? And that's kind of what I look at. But if they're saying they just want to go by who has the best record, I'm not here to argue them to the ground.
I mean,
I'm just defending why I picked Leon.
No, that's fair. And like I said, I think without any clear just like criteria or anything, it's tough. He'd be the first for the Knicks to have a executive of the year, by the way. Knicks have never had one.
I feel like
because I don't think they've ever had an executive make a smart decision. So
it's been a long time, buddy.
It's interesting. Been a long time. You can kind of see the evolution because as you look some of the years, like the Bucks won it with John Hammond in 2009-2010 season. We weren't the best record that year. I remember that year. We weren't nowhere near. But so it's like at that time it seemed like they were trying to do, who put the team together, because Brian Colangelo won it for Toronto a couple years before that. Mm-hmm. Nuggets GM won it. So it's like at the time it seemed like it was what put together the team. But if you look at like the last 5 years, like I said, it's Boston, Sacramento, Memphis, Phoenix, Clippers, Bucks, Rockets, Warriors. Each of those seasons, those teams were either 1 or 2 in their conference.
Yeah. I don't know. It takes the respect out of it a little bit.
I mean, I feel like it's the least respected award anyway. Mm-hmm. Like Executive of the Year, I don't think most people are caring about.
No, they're not. They probably don't even know it exists.
No.
So, yeah.
I mean, I would say the awards I didn't even bother putting on here probably a little more. Lesser respected.
Clutch Player of the Year. Clutch Player of the Year might. I ain't gonna hold you. That might get a little bit more respect than Executive of the Year.
The humanitarian or whatever.
Yeah, that would.
Humanitarian, you can't. You can't. We don't know who's out in the league, who's out in the community.
Right, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Didge, we could, but it'd be homer picks. I know everything Brunson and Catnam are doing, so
I can tell you. So
I can nominate them. Yeah. So, but Clutch Player of the Year. I mean, that would have been next time. Let's definitely have that there. Because I wouldn't mind going through and seeing, because I've seen so many Steph game winners just this season alone. So I'd be interested to see who has the most game winners.
There's a stat for that, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking to see who got it last year.
Because I know Fox was won it 1 year.
Fox got it 2022.
Yeah, because I remember Brunson was top 2 at that.
And then Steph got it last year. So 2022, 2023, and the 2023, 2024 was Steph.
Yeah.
Okay.
He usually hits daggers, so.
Yeah, let me see. Clutch stats.
Let me see who's got the.
It's literally just called
Clutch Factor.
Yeah, I don't know how you I don't understand.
How you measure that?
The thing is, apparently Anthony Edwards is number 1. So I mean,
Mike has a message for you guys.
I saw it.
I told you already she's not eligible for Rookie of the Year.
But I
not
guess
for the NBA, WNBA. Yeah,
gender restraints, Mike. Crazy.
This is my confusion about the clutch stats. Are you telling me that the Timberwolves are the clutchest team in the league because they have 4 of the top 5?
Yeah, really? That's crazy.
So I don't understand what this means.
But to be fair, Didge, I did hear someone talking about when it comes to clutch, they're basing it off of your ability to close out games with the winning shot. And a lot of games this year kind of feel like they're either a blowout or, you know what I'm saying, or it's taken away in like the last maybe minute or something. Clutch might be legit just a last second shot.
It's the last 5 minutes of the game, so either fourth quarter or overtime, and the score has to be within 5 points.
Right. And so it seems like so many games are blowouts nowadays around the NBA. So maybe that's because a lot of these Timberwolves games, they're not necessarily getting blown out. They're close games. It's just a lot of those games they can't win. So I can imagine. I just thought maybe Steph would have been number 1 because I feel like he just had 3 just in the last month. It felt like.
You would think so. It's like hilarious.
Yeah, this is for you, Joel, not for me and Didge. This is just for you.
Again, Rookie of the Year is for the NBA.
For men only. You hear that? Yeah. You hear that, young ladies out there aspiring to be great basketball players? Yeah. Joel said it's just for the men.
Here for this show, it's for the NBA. I think Caitlin Clark did win Rookie of the Year.
She did.
She did. Mike said it's not enough. She needs the Infinity Stones. She needs it all.
Doesn't play in the NBA.
Yeah, I still don't fully understand. Like, they don't give you a measurable ranking. Like, now that I understand it, so it's like Anthony Edwards averages about three clutch points a game. You know, he's 41% in clutch time, things like that. But I don't fully they don't give it to you as a measurable of how did they make sure that he's number 1. Because
how does he get it over Steph or over this person or over that person?
I'm assuming part of it must be clutch games. So like they've had 26 games played that had clutch time moments, I guess.
Okay.
And maybe that's part of it, but it's like Maxey had 14. It's a decent enough sample size. He's 5.5 clutch points per game. There you go. Yeah,
I've seen Maxey
Mike solved it for you. There you go.
Mike solved it for you.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so we just solved it. All right, well, there you go. Anthony Edwards provides the most vibes. There you go.
That tracks.
There you go. So we solved it. All right.
Every time he has an amazing game, I feel like he has a press conference for the ages.
That is true. I feel like his press person goes, "Hey, no cursing this time." And he goes, "Okay." First word, fuck. It's like, oh god, like Anthony.
That's
just went over
square
this.
One.
All right, so it makes sense why Clutch Player of the Year is not on here. Good job, Joel. All right, well,
I just didn't know how to measure it, and I don't see it. How do I see everybody's clutch? It's hard. I just didn't know how to measure that.
No, that makes sense why it's not on here now, because we would be in a world of hurt.
I'm struggling thinking about it now. I don't know. Good question. Like,
that is all we got for that.
That's it. Or points to 50% for Paul Rudd. What? This is why Mike didn't join the show. This man's high.
He's saying there's aura points. You got to give points for aura.
It's fair. I mean, there are people that definitely have aura, especially in the NBA. There's some characters out there. Some of the stuff they wear, insane. Or they call that fashion these days, I guess.
Yeah, Russ used to average one dress per road game.
Not a dress per road game.
All right, you guys got anything else before Joel closes this out?
Any final words, Didge?
No, I have nothing else.
Okay.
I was just looking to see some of the scores tonight. No, I have nothing else.
Do you guys want to try to guess the Finals MVP of the All-Star game? Or the All-Star game MVP?
I was about to say, damn, the Finals?
This man said Finals MVP of the
All-Star MVP.
Yes, All-Star MVP.
All-Star MVP.
There's going to be multiple rounds. That's why I tried to say final round. It didn't work.
That's fair. Now I get
I think that's going to be rough for me. Because because usually all the players are on two separate teams. Now you're talking about splitting them. I don't know how do you do MVP
on the winning team? Yeah, it depends. I guess it's gonna be tough.
That's weird for me. I don't know.
We don't even know who's on the team yet.
Right. I think after this year, seeing how they structure it, I'll be able to guess for next year because I'll know how they gauge it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just weird with so many teams now. I don't know.
James going back today. There you go.
Damn, so you're saying
I was gonna pick Giannis, so I mean.
Oh well, shit! If we're just throwing out Cat, Cat.
Like you said, I have no idea what's gonna happen with this, how this is going to work.
I'm saying Cat, and I'm saying that when he wins it, they can't put Karl Anthony Towns on the trophy. They got to put Big Purr. That's what they got to put on it. Big Purr. Big Purr. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, Cat.
Big Meow. No, I know you don't like that.
He doesn't like Big Purr or Big Meow. He made that very clear.
Did he?
Yeah. He said, no, we're not doing that. But he does like Bodega.
Yeah, the big Bodega.
Bodega Cat. He's fine with those.
I like Bodega Cat.
No purr, no meow. He doesn't like
that. Anyway, on that note, thank you guys again. We'll be back here
Wednesday.
Well, I mean, next time we do basketball.
Oh, gotcha.
Not sure. We're figuring it out. Probably somewhere post finals, let's say.
No. We could do it right before playoffs and then predict the playoffs. You want to do that? Yeah, we could do that. Because then we could do actually what we think the season awards will be. Because remember, we'll find it out throughout the playoffs. So we could do that, and then we could do our our next show before the finals, and then our next show as a season wrap.
I wasn't sure how we were going to split it up.
I know how much you love talking this, so I'm trying to figure as many times as we can do it.
I could talk it every week if I really wanted to, but yeah, we can do that. We'll figure something out for towards the end of the season for the playoffs. We'll talk about the awards, the actual awards they're giving out. Who wins the finals, who gets to the finals, and all the moves that people are going to have to make after they realize they suck and couldn't win the championship.
Honestly, guys, if we're available, we can actually do trade deadline too.
Well, I love trade deadline. That's like fucking Christmas for me. Yeah. I don't know how busy trade deadline is going to be. But we can do a special. I don't mind. We can do that.
It depends on. I don't know what day trade deadline falls on.
I
forget too.
I think it's usually like a Wednesday.
If it's a Wednesday, then perfect. We'll do it that Thursday.
It is Thursday, February 6th.
Okay, then we can do it that Thursday. Perfect. There you go.
February what? 20 what? 26?
20? I just said February 6th.
Oh, you just said.
I was about to say, Joel, it's before All-Star Game now, right?
I wasn't sure. I thought I heard 26 or whatever. All right, so 6th. All right, so the 6th.
Joel went back in time.
I don't know the dates. That's why I get confused. I
only remember it by it's before All-Star Game. That's all I remember.
I just know the All-Star weekend is usually around Valentine's Day because it always gets in. Not want to say gets in the way, but I'm like, I want to watch this.
No. He said it. No. Joel said it.
It's like, Joel said it. I can't tell you how many rookie sophomore game I ended up in a hotel. Like, all right, I'll watch it here.
See, Joel hasn't learned his lesson. You gotta start making All-Star games the romantic trip.
Sundays?
That way you get 2 and 1. You get 2 and 1, buddy.
Tougher on Sundays because work gets in the way. But
one of my friends, that is he made sure his wife, she's a basketball fan.
Oh, that's how you got to get him.
He loves it.
Yeah,
I made sure L'Oreal saw through all these Marvel movies so that I can peacefully go watch Captain America.
Yeah. I will get her there hopefully one day. Right now, she likes football. But
there you go.
That's not working out great for me right now. So
yeah, you don't want to watch those games.
I got her updates and it's not worth it. You missed nothing. You're good. I've saved your eyes.
Yeah, football doesn't work for me. She's a fan of the enemy. So
the Jets,
Giants.
No, at least it's not the Jets.
Yeah, no, Jets I can accept because at least then I would know you have nothing over me ever.
Oh well,
like ever. There's no shit you could ever talk to me ever.
All right. Yeah. We'll be back. Obviously, definitely. I like talking with you guys. It's always fun. We'll probably bring in more guests. If not, we'll just be us three. That's fine. So let's close out. Didge, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Didge_DEE in all places. Also check me out over there on the Geek Set podcast. Check out the social medias. We'll have stuff that's coming out soon and whatnot. And that'll be the first place to update because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Awesome. Juwaan, where can they find you?
You know how the game goes. Don't follow me. Follow your dreams.
That works for me. Same. like we're on our show. Follow us here. Come back here. We're here every Wednesday for the normal. I guess we don't have a name for it, right? It's just unhealthy and unstable.
What, the podcast?
Yeah, the actual
name
of
the
the
Geek
podcast.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's it. All right. So there's no like subtitle. It is what it is. It's unhealthy, unstable.
It's what it is. Get what you
That's
get.
what we are. That's who we. Well, we try to be, I guess. More so in the chat than
that's what we get. Yeah. Because we get it in the show. We just don't get it from the two people that it was named after.
That's fair. But yeah, so every week we'll be here. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll be talking some geeky stuff. And yeah, that's about it. I want to say goodnight. Thanks for joining us. Come back next time.
Peace. If I can just hit the button, that'd be great.
Okay.